Oh yeah, I have no way to tell when it's working. Okay, so I'm waiting for to make sure I go live because it takes a second sometimes. Okay, I think I'm there. Okay, let me play my intro thing. Oh, oh, here it is, here it is. Wait, is this? Yeah.
Friendly bearded illustrator.
Is mustachioed?
We actually recorded a bunch of different audios for that, but you know. Hmm? Oh, that's your buzz buzz. So I have aphantasia, which means I have no visual imagination or memory. I just get by having other types of imagination and memory. And oh, would you do me a favor and listen and see if I'm into the mic? I don't think I am, but I want to make sure. Thank you so much. And I'm going to spin this wheel. It has a bunch of cartoons on it. Awesome. If there's a cartoon you want me to check and make sure is on here, you want me to put on here if it's not, let me know in the chat, and then I will draw them. It's fun because it's gonna look crazy sometimes because I'm not gonna remember what cartoons are. And also, okay, it's going to be fun because it'll help me get better and better at um, getting my cartoons into something very simple and like iconic and good. Because hopefully I draw cartoons that are as good even if they don't look the same. So that's the dream. Anyway, let's give it a spin. I'm ready. I always get nervous at this part. I don't know why. It's so silly. Oh, okay. Okay. Marge Simpson. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to do a quick sketch layer first. And that just means I'm going to be a little bit sloppier. So what I was thinking about the other day is I want to be closer in. I want to draw small because that will help me keep the detail low and keep the like image of them, the like what makes them iconic and what makes them a good cartoon. So I know all the Simpsons have a nose that's like that. None of them ever look straight on. I made a mistake of drawing one straight on the other day, which was so dumb. They all have an overbite. They don't have good. These are just things I remember about the Simpsons. She has the best hair. They all have circular eyes that overlap, that touch, and their nose is like this. And then her mouth is probably something like that. This is just a sketch, but we'll get more. So I remember I read Groening's original book, Life is Hell, I think, and they all had this type of ears. And apparently Marge Simpson is supposed to also have those types of ears in some moments of the show, but we never see them. That's a rumor. Okay, it's starting to look normal already. I mean, normal for Marge Simpson. Yeah, so I, I I'm definitely doing something wrong with her mouth, but I don't know what it is. Pearls. I'm really curious what is wrong with her mouth. And then just like Lisa, I know she wears just like a very plain dress with like a tattered edge, a tattered hem, a tattered skirt line. I don't know what that's called. And I think all the Simpsons arms are kind of, well, let's get her dress down. That looks right. Sort of. I don't remember what color her dress is. Wait, Lisa's dress is red. I think her dress is sort of like this color, something like that. Okay. I don't remember what kind of shoes she wears, so we're just gonna. Oh yeah, yeah. So I just think they're green. So oh yeah, I think it's green too. Thank you so much, Cardmaster. So the way we play, the way we've been playing, I think it works is if you're going to guess along, awesome. Feel free to enter your guesses in the chat. Love it. If you like really know what they look like, then maybe let me try to guess and fail. And if you're going to Google, that's totally fine. So you can see like how I'm doing, but don't share like what it is in the chat. But otherwise, yeah, feel free. It's really fun to play together. Is her neck? I'm like, I don't, I'm going to do that. I know her face looks wrong. We can move that before we do the like final step of inking. Yeah, and if you have a suggestion for a cartoon to add to the wheel, this is the wheel here. Feel free to say it in the chat and I will add it to the wheel. Right now we're doing Marge Simpson. I'm trying to do it from memory and I have no visual imagination. Oh, hey Aubrey, welcome back. You were here yesterday, right? So I don't know. I know the Simpsons have like a very simple hand. It's a thumb and three fingers. Um, I'm trying to think like what Marge is usually doing. She's usually like feeding the baby or something. And I don't feel like drawing Maggie also. So I'm just going to have her kind of standing in a weird position. So this does look silly. Make her hold a potato. Oh yeah, okay, okay. We'll make her hold a potato. Marge, she holds a potato up and goes, I just think they're neat. And so we can have her do that. So this is just the sketch layer. Once we get the sketch down, we will do like a proper layer. That'll make it look a little bit better. This is just to make sure to get the idea down. And so I can like, because I don't have a visual imagination, so this might be something interesting. Everything I want to do, everything I want to do, like anything I want to draw, I have to sort of, to see it, I have to draw it out. So like I'm constantly sketching ideas. I do design work and stuff, and I just like I have ideas, but in order to see if they'll work, I have to put them down on paper. And so I have to like I can't think in my mind, oh, what will this look like? I have to sketch it down to see what it will look like. Um, yeah, The Simpsons were made in they first aired in 1989, I believe. They were around a little bit before that on like a it was the Tracy Ullman show, and they were a like a when the show cut to commercial, this family would come on. Oh, hi Ryan Burma, and they would do little weird skits and say it would just be like a little tiny skit, an animated skit, like a 1 minute cartoon, and it would be the Simpsons family, and they would do all sorts of weird stuff. And yeah, that's when they were made. And then they got their own show, and then eventually they became the longest running animated sitcom ever, and one of the longest running animated shows, well, the longest running animated show in America, and one of the longest running animated shows in the world. Although there are places that have been running shows, like The Simpsons has been on for more than 30 years, but there are shows that have been on for like 40, 50. I think Japan has one that's been on for 60 years, like since the 1960s. I'm really messing up her hand here. I'm just gonna have her like holding the potato in a more traditional fashion. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. The Simpsons and the Family Guy have been in competition over the years. Okay, I think we gotta see where this is going. And I think there's been episodes of each show where they beat each other up. So they've had a lot of influence on each other. Where The Simpsons started a lot of like cutaway gags and stuff like that, that eventually, when Family Guy showed up, they kind of took that to the extreme. And so then The Simpsons stopped doing it because they were like, well, like, we're not going to be second fiddle to this thing. We're just going to have to choose a different path. All right, this is as good as it gets. Let's do an inking layer. This will be fun. So we'll get a nice black pen and we will give Marge Simpson some ink here. We'll go a little bit uh, more detailed, a little bit different. I'm going to move her ear like here. I don't know. I don't think that's what the back of her head looks like, but also I think I'm going to move her eyes and stuff out here a little bit. Oh, thank you so much, Aubrey. Um, yeah, I about 6 years ago, I decided I had the ability and the time, and I've always wanted to be an illustrator. I illustrate better not on the computer. I do a lot of, well, not cartoons, maybe. I do more animal drawings and pet portraits and stuff like that. That's where I excel. But even this, I'm trying to get better at this kind of thing, and so that's why I'm practicing most days. But yeah, I didn't start drawing until recently. I mean, I took a couple of art classes in school, especially grade school. Um, but yeah, I've seen huge improvements like in my adult life, like just in the last year or so, even. So you can always start. I'm so bad at these Simpsons hands. Yeah, I think I like The Simpsons better also. I mean, there was a time when I was really happy to watch. Oh, okay. I moved everything over to the right. Yeah, it takes time. You'll get there. Like if you draw, if you continue on it, if you keep working at it, you will get to whatever level you're trying to achieve eventually. It's all a matter of putting the time in. And I guess one thing that's really important is like looking at your own work critically and being willing to try to make it better. So if you think your art looks bad, like that's actually really great because that means you have the ability to see when it will be better and that means you can get better. That yeah, sure. We'll do pancakes or waffles or French toast. What? Or or cinnamon toast. Oh yeah, like donut. Yeah, I'll be live probably for the next hour and a half, 2 hours. So please go draw. Enjoy. Get that practice in. Hopefully I see you. If not, I'll be live tomorrow. Okay, I don't think this is terrible. Ooh, can I vote? Gosh, I don't know my answer. Okay, so I'm just going to make a couple quick changes. I think Marge's head probably doesn't go that far out. All right, I think this is as close as I get. Let's do some color. Simpsons yellow, that should be pretty easy to find. Huh, it's not. Well, thank you, thank you. Thanks for your support, Aubrey. You're doing the same back at me. Oh, and you can always, I upload all my lives to the channel, so if you're interested, you can always watch the replay on 2.5 speed. Can you do 2.5? Yeah, up to 2. I have no idea how the watch time works. Like, do you still get, I wonder. Hmm, that makes sense. Hopefully, watch time is not going to be something we struggle with. We've decided to not like pursue it in lieu of other things, but to also pursue YouTube like partner program or whatever it's called. So we started this channel just to share our um, attempts at doing art. So we're still doing exactly that mostly, but yeah, we're gonna change the color of Marge. This is not Simpsons color. I don't know. It it seemed so right. This happens. I cannot do skin tone of any creature. It's just, where is Simpsons? It's close. Why won't you move here? Nope, not darker. So it is an adjustment, more orange. Yeah, right there, right there. That's very close to Simpsons. Okay, so her hair is like very dark blue. We'll do that. Oh, we'll give her a new. Do that and that. Nope. There we are. So like, okay, there we go. And the dress we decided was green. Maybe not exactly this color green, but let's give it a try. Okie dokie. We can erase some of that yellow. I don't know. I bet you her shoes are red. Everyone's shoes are red in The Simpsons. Well, all the girls' shoes are red in The Simpsons. Somebody was talking about, one of the writers from The Simpsons was talking about how, um, whoops, I missed a whole part of the dress. How they wrote mostly for Bart and Homer, not on purpose, but just because they were a bunch of like guys, mostly young guys. And so they had been young men, right? Some of them had been old men. Mostly just that. That sound. I didn't really notice my first watch through, but like, there's not enough Lisa. All right, we'll do the potato. I don't think this is bad. Let's compare it to regular. Marge in a second. We'll do oh, it's hard to write on that. Oh my gosh. My pen was much, much bigger than I thought it was. I was trying to do so much stuff. I was really confused why it was all weird. And it was just because it was weird. Like everyone's always so um, crazy about, no, that's fine, about like there, and there. I definitely am like, oh no, I'm gonna do the wrong there. Like every time I write there. I'm like, that's not, you shouldn't feel that way. There we go. She just thinks they're neat. Potatoes. I forget what episode it is, but it's in one of the earlier seasons. I think season 6 or maybe 5 or 7. And Marge goes, I just think they're neat. And she's talking about potatoes. She's trying to give the kids potatoes to take in for lunch or something. I don't remember.
I think she's trying to get Bart to do a report on the potatoes.
Yeah, he's trying to get Bart to do a report on potatoes. And they're like, Mom, why are you so up about potatoes? Why are you glazing potatoes? And she's like, I just think they're neat. All right, let's see what actual Marge looks like. I know I didn't do good because this does not look right. But let's see how didn't good I did. Marge Simpson. You know what we'll do is we'll do earliest episodes, and let's see what she looks like then. That'll give me some. The Yeah, here we go. This is what she looked like back in the day. Can you guys see this one? I'll copy it and drop it in the. Oh, so I did better than that. Okay, let me grab an actual Marge Simpson now. Oh yeah, here. I forget. So I did better than that, I think. Better. I did better, more modern than the original drawings that first appeared on TV. And that's pretty good. Although also very close. Oh, I forgot the girls of The Simpsons have um, eyelashes. Okay, let's see what she actually looks like. Marge Simpson. All right. So I got all of the details right, which is better than I usually do. The color is close, but not quite spot on. I see. See, she has even more of an overbite than what I was doing, and her hair goes all the way down. But like a lot of this is positioned pretty well. And look how big her eyes are, how much they take up of her head, even after. Like here, let's see. Like yeah, I was thinking that the colors, her oh, like her left eye is almost dead center of the side of her head. Like, what a crazy, what a world. Yeah, once I do that, it's not so bad. I know this looks crazy because her eyes don't have white under them, but let me just throw that white under. And then we'll spin the wheel for the next character. Oh, it looks like even Carl left. Yeah, that like surprisingly looks. All right, let's move on. Bye, Marge. Hate to see you go. Love to watch you leave. All right, let's spin the wheel. How do I hide these? Oh yeah, I group them and then I hide them. Photoshop, you're always complaining. All right, let's see. The wheel, the wheel. Spin the wheel. Oh man, another Simpson. All right, let's go. Yeah, they're randomized and they're moved all over around. So, like, so again, sketch layer. Let's see what I think Sideshow Bob looks like. I'm gonna do the sketch layer a little bit differently this time, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So, okay. So Sideshow Bob isn't Homer Simpson. That's Krusty the Clown. So one thing I know about Sideshow Bob, I think, is his hair is like this. Hmm. We'll give him giant eyes again. I think we also have to have him pointing. We'll do 3/4 again. I think that's the way the Simpsons look most of the time. Most of the Simpsons, but now we know we'll do his main eye. There's very few characters in the Simpsons who don't have the big round Simpsons eyes like Marge does there. I used to know which ones these are. The Simpsons, when I first was starting drawing, the Simpsons were something I really looked to because I had Groening's book as a kid. Hmm. I mean, Sideshow Bob might be one of them who doesn't have those eyes. But we'll see, we'll see. I think maybe he has a different nose. Now this just looks like a Muppet. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. That he has a different nose. Or do you just mean remember the long Simpsons nose from when I drew Lisa and I did a bad job? Also, welcome, Owen. No, I think he has like a big schnoz, Sideshow Bob. This looks like Ernie.
It looks so good.
I also am thinking about Frasier, I guess, because of who voices him. And I might be mixing it up a little bit with Sideshow Mel, but I don't know. I think this feels pretty good. I know this doesn't look like him exactly, but I don't think it looks bad. Okay, another thing I remember. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sesame Street. Yeah, definitely. I'll mess around with the face a little bit more after. Let's get him straightened up. Okay. I have no idea what Bob wears. Um,
Where's that orange thing?
oh, yeah, he was in jail, so I could have him wear just a jail um, onesie. That's really easy to draw, so I'm going to do that. And then gigantic feet, so I'll have. I used to draw feet basically this big when I was a kid, like, and I was drawing like sketching in the margins of my notebook and stuff. I would always have. No, isn't the Afro with the bone Sideshow Mel? I think that's Sideshow Mel. Like, because I remember Sideshow Mel tells Lisa not to try to get the gum out of her hair with a bone. Like maybe Sideshow Bob had a bone before he became a psycho. I mean, before everyone knew he was a psycho. Okay, what? I noticed because I just did Marge. I noticed that their shoulders are just like womp, womp, which is good because I had drawn like real shoulders and it looked weird. So, and we'll have. Oh, I know what Bob will be holding like a glass of wine because he's snooty, right? Wine, snooty. That tracks. This sketch is looking okay. And like a book, um, because he also likes to, not because he's intelligent. Oh yeah, thank you so much. That's exactly why I do it. It's like I'm trying to like one of my favorite things is when I get things right because I like reason it out. When I'm like, well, I know this and I know this style of animation often does that, and then I like give it a guess and then it's right. I'm like, oh, this was fun. This is really fun. It's it's hard to be wrong, and when I'm drawing I always think they look bad, which like because like I know this is not what Sideshow Bob looks like, right? It looks more like Rick from Rick and Morty doing a Sideshow Bob costume for Halloween or something. But you know, when I go back later and look at them, I'm like, oh, these look fine. I don't know, like, so I just have to trust that that's happening. Prisoner 1692. I think he does really have a number, but I wonder if it's the number from what is that? Like Les Miserables. Everyone knows that number. All the musical theater kids like joke about number 9652. I don't know. It's in trivia all the time. Yes, he steps on rakes like a lot. It's a running gag, right? Ah, okay, I'm gonna mess with the head a little bit. I like everything else, but the face is messing me up. So let's just, you know what? I'll keep what I have in case I don't like, and I'll as a backup. Come on, Sideshow Bob. What the heck do you look like? Does he wear glasses? No. Like this looks like Simpsons, but it doesn't look like Sideshow Bob. He might not have Simpsons eyes. That's what I was thinking. I'm trying to remember what. what kind of eyes Simpsons have when they don't have Simpsons eyes. This does not look right. Hmm. Okay, let's get back to basics. We'll have bump. Okay, yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking, Owen, is that he had a sharp nose. So let me, now that you've said that too, let me try to like, and I think he has eyebrows because he's always so angry. Yeah, I was like kind of thinking he had this kind of nose. Wait, I'm trying to remember how Simpsons faces, their eyes, and then they do the nose, and then the mouth. The top of the mouth comes out of the bottom of the nose and goes that way, and then it's like that. That's how most Simpsons faces are. I mean, this is looking better. I'm going to do this exact thing, but just a little bit lower because I kind of moved his head really far up. And we saw on Marge, her eye was like practically in the center of the side of her head. So let's do the exact same thing for Bob. Eyebrows, eyebrows, right angle nose, stupid mouth. Oh man, there's something here. This this is something. I don't know if it's Bob exactly, but it it feels a lot better than what we had had before. All right, I think I'm going to do a quick ink of this uh, and see what we get out of it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to move his face out just a little bit. So one thing I really love about doing a sketch layer is you can just kind of, oh, hey, uh, Flames GT. It's not Flame Sergeant. Is you can just like, because this isn't the final one and I'm not trying to make it like really like perfect right now and I'm coming back and doing a quick ink over it, you can just cut things out and move them around like that. Um, I think he has a big ear also. I'm going to do a big ear. I don't know what is possessing me. A little fish odorish. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's reminding me a lot of Bob's Burgers, a lot of, which I guess is that also some of the same illustrators? It feels a lot like Simpsons. Oh, thank you so much, Flames. Yeah, this is, I'm trying to do Bob's Burgers. No, no, no. I'm trying to do Sideshow Bob. Maybe he did have a bone. Well, he doesn't have a bone for most of the series, right? Even if he did have a bone when he started. Um, okay, let's go for it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use a thicker pen as a way to like try to force myself to do less detail. Because I always go way too detailed on these, which is not bad. It's just, it's not cartoony, yeah. You know, I, hmm, I, I'm gonna do a quick, I know, like I probably shouldn't do this when I'm inking, but let's do it. I'm going to move, I think his hair is too thick here. I think that's probably part of the problem. Let's make it go like more up to his head on the top here. Okay. All right. Okay. His little mouth, his big nose, his eyes. They should probably not be that thick, but that's fine. I am where I am. His big ear. I don't know why I gave him a big ear. His fat eyebrows. I'm like, I'm, I'm thinking I didn't do too bad. I should never say this before I look at it because that means I always am like, oh gosh, when I finally look. But it's good to feel this way, even if it's temporary. All right. I love spinning the canvas and like moving my arm around. There's something about like finding the optimal place for you to draw the line you're trying to draw that like feels so nice when you get it right and you're like, ah, that line was so easy to draw. Like I like a nice long continuous line that hits where you're trying to go. It takes so much practice. This reminds me, somebody was talking about how they're definitely not a draw artist because they can't even do the basics of like drawing a circle or drawing a straight line. And so that's how they know they're not an artist. And it struck me because like it took me so long to be able to draw a circle or draw a straight line and to feel good about it. It it's just practice, just like everything else. Like I don't know, it struck me that like that could be a misunderstanding of like how practice and art works. Like, are there people who have like a natural gift and can do it really well right out of the box? Sure, right? Just like there's people who intuitively seem like they know how to drive a car or are really good at baseball. But the majority of people who drive a car, or the majority of people who play baseball, they had to practice and practice and practice. And that's true of the majority of people who do art, or at least the majority. Mm, just like a cow. If I was faster, I'd draw a cow right now. Ooh. I'm excited to turn the sketch layer off. This is gonna look good, I think. We watched The Simpsons where Sideshow Bob, like, he's always trying to murder Bart. He's voiced by the guy who did Seinfeld. Oop. All right. Whoops, forgot this line. This might be okay. He looks kind of like, so we have a Simpsons color already, so let's get that right in. He looks kind of like, he looks like someone. I can't place it. Okay, the hand. Okay, this thumb, which I didn't do that good of a job on, and that's it. And now we'll do his jumpsuit. He's a criminal, he wears an orange jumpsuit. We'll do that. Nice. We'll do this one a little bit darker. You know what we can do as a trick? And something that I like to do, it mimics old printing methods, is instead of making something darker by like changing the color and using two colors, I like to like layer two colors to try to make something darker that way. Oh man, never mind, it's fine, it's fine. We'll do the book brown. This looks fine. And then we'll lighten that up. That doesn't look quite right to me, so we'll just lighten it up. Nope, that's inverse. Here we go. There, that looks fine. And it would have like some sort of gobbledygook. So this is Sideshow Bob from also The Simpsons, it turned out. We'll do black shoes. Why not? Dark gray. Nice. And the wine glass, we'll do his hair, light brown. I have no idea what color his hair is, but that seems right. Same with his eyebrows. Actually, let's make his hair uh, um, darker brown. Yeah, yeah, there we go. And we'll do the wine glass a very, very light shade of blue because that is, oh yeah, one day I'll draw all the Simpsons and I'll study beforehand. Maybe. I watch The Simpsons every day. That's why I'm a little bit better at The Simpsons than other characters. Not because, what am I drawing on? The hair layer? That's fine. Not that it's that much better because I still can't remember. All right. Like, this doesn't feel so bad. I think I messed up a little on this thumb, but whatever. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what he looks like. Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm trying to see him full body picture. So I got
And his
eyebrows.
eyelid.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have an eyebrow. He has like an eyebrow ridge.
Hmm.
That's so interesting.
This is good enough.
I could not remember.
Okay, hang on, I forgot that I have to do this. There we go. Oh no. Okay. I'm not so bad, I think. So the prison uniform is a little bit brighter, has a little bit more detail going on. His hair, I only did 3, and I don't know where I'm getting this like picture from. Maybe from Bob's Burgers, but his hair has a few more. It's like, whoop, yeah, like a palm tree or like a bloomin' onion. Yeah, if I did that, I'm just gonna change the hair and then see where we look, because to me that's the biggest difference. All right. Okay. And then we can change it to like reddish. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. His head is like a little bit like longer than I thought. But I don't hate I don't hate it. I think I did a pretty good job. This is one of the better ones for sure. Yeah, oh, I see. His nose is even longer. I knew he had a long nose. His nose is even longer. All right, let's do another one. Simpsons, yeah. I accidentally colored Bob's suit on the background layer, so I have to make a new background layer. That only takes a second, but it's just something to think about. Oh yeah, I would love to put any cartoons. I just thought of two today that I put on the wheel. I cannot remember what they were. One was like a Looney Tune. Hmm, not important. All right, time to spin that wheel. What the heck?
Friendly bearded
Spin
illustrator.
His
that
mustachio?
wheel. Are you using the plug? May I have the plug? Oh, I added Charlie Brown today. He was weirdly not on the list. Maybe I had already drawn him, but he's back. Yeah, you gotta do what the wheel says. What the wheel says, what the wheel wants. So I like French toast like from a restaurant. That's really good. Or like made really well. But just like random French toast, that's probably not that good. Okay. So we got Charlie Brown. Let's do a sketch layer. So this one I really want to make sure I either draw him very small, yeah, that's pretty small, and with a big pen because I know he was drawn very small for um, the Peanuts cartoon. And so, like, it's important to not get overly detailed because he wouldn't have been. It usually takes me like a couple of iterations to try to draw something not very detailed. So this is probably the biggest benefit I get out of doing this, drawing the cartoons from memory is, pff, whoa, that just looks really terrible. What happened? I think that's a perfect Charlie Brown hand.
Oh, I think you're not.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
This happens sometimes. Oh, hi, Nasir. Sorry, I was on the wheel. I got Charlie Brown. I just drew this in secret.
I'm so sorry.
All right. I have no idea what Charlie Brown's pants look like. I think he wears shorts. I think this is Charlie Brown. Let's move this arm and just have him be doing something else. Yeah. I don't know what his arm might be doing. I know. Let's have it up in the air. He's like, he's throwing a fit. Charlie Brown is a really interesting character. I used to read him a lot because my grandmother would collect all the newspapers and then like all like so many, and they would just stack up in her garage. And then when I was over at her house for summers and stuff, we didn't have anything to do. Like I didn't have a lot of toys or um, anything like that at her house. And so she used to have like crossword puzzle books for me, which I was very bad at and made me feel stupid. And she would have stacks and stacks of old newspaper, and I would read the funny pages out of them back when there were still funny pages um, in most newspapers, in like most days, because I know a lot of newspapers only print funny pages now on Sunday. And then after I read all those, we would bring it the whole stack to the dump. And I started suspecting she wasn't saving the newspaper for me to read. She was just waiting for me to bring them to the dump. I mean, I say starting to suspect. That's exactly what it was. But as a consequence, I got to read a lot of funnies, including Charlie Brown. I didn't particularly like Charlie Brown, but it was really easy to read. And like it was fast and it was easy to see. And there's something like comforting about it. And I suspect that's a lot of Charlie Brown's appeal, even, or maybe even especially now, is that there's just something about him. One of the good things about Charlie Brown is he's a line drawing. So we can kind of stop here. You know, the older I get, the more I understand the football gag in Charlie Brown. It's probably the most famous thing about Charlie Brown is he's trying to kick a football. Hi Nasir, hi hi. How do you do today? You know, I think this is very good, but the shirt is a little off. That's not black for some reason. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter if this is black or not. Okay. Yeah, nobody's being like, which one's that? What cartoon did you draw that from? Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna look up Charlie Brown from the comic strip and see what comes up. Okay. I can't get him pointing at the camera. Okay. Here we go, here we go. No, he's in his winter clothes. We'll just grab whatever. We'll get this one. Put that over here. Okay. Very small. Okay, his shorts are black. Okay, let me try to find a better one. Oh, here we go, here we go. This is probably the better. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, the zigzag in the shirt. Yeah, I was scribbling zigzag and I didn't know why, but it was because of that. Oh, I didn't do ears, that's silly. Here we go. This part is supposed to be simple. There we are. Yeah, I should put a little ears on him. Well, no, that ear is behind his head. Yeah, there we go. That's helpful. And then his hair, I have that. I was close, but he does like a, instead, he has eyebrows, and his mouth is like much more expressive. There, that's Charlie Brown. His feet are bigger and his legs are fatter, but he is wearing shorts, which is crazy. I mean, not crazy bad, but crazy that I remembered that. I changed it. Well, no, I always had him wearing shorts. Yeah, I wonder, like, this is something I read a lot as a child. No, because I tried to draw him a few weeks ago and it was terrible. So this is probably because I drew him and then failed and then thought about drawing him some more. And so, yeah, so that's a zigzag makes sense because it's like very striking, but still easy to draw. And like if you mess up the zigzag, it doesn't really matter. I've always admired him, partly just because of how fast he could put these out. And like it took me, I draw a cartoon every day, and to get it, a comic strip every day, and to get it to like that level of clean was so much work. Oh, little socks. Oh, all right. I think I'll do one more. Uh, YouTube doesn't always tell me if anyone's here, so if you're here, hi. If not, welcome from the future. And if you're not here now or from the future, how are you hearing this? All right, last spin. Oh my gosh. All right, another Simpson. What do they say? Let's go. Go. Hmm, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do Homer. get a quick sketch layer going, but I'm just going to sketch in full black. We'll see how that goes. So I know some things about Homer because he's so iconic. He has the classic Simpsons eyes that I talk about, which I guess are also Rick and Morty eyes. I'll have to take a look at that. He has three hairs. His ear is a G, and his on the side of his head it says an M, and that's because that's Matt Groening. Okay. Um, my lip is itchy. Dang mustachio. Okay, I don't. So I've drawn this part of the mouth before a bunch of times because I used to draw Homer pretty frequently, but I don't know. Okay, I think that's right. He's like one of the very few characters in The Simpsons who don't have a um, overbite. He's always wearing a white shirt, no tie, yes, pants. He has like a sort of a gut, but it's not that big. Um, oh, we want him kind of facing us. I forgot. I was drawing him totally profile. We don't want him totally profile. We want him like kind of three quarters. So that'll be his center line. That actually, because we just did Marge and we saw that her eye was like right in the center of her head, let's do the same for Homer and base it off of that. After we do this quick sketch layer, we will come back and do like a proper layer, but a proper line work. But right now we're just trying to make sure we get the idea down and try to remember as much Homer as we can. I feel like moving that eye into the middle really changed the way his face looked, and it was like pretty good. Okay, that's better. Okay, so he doesn't have like a button-down shirt; it's just collared. His neck is too long. Let's just do it now. I'll just bring that up. I am doing Chibi Homer somehow. We have to make his whole thing big. Oh, that's really great. Yeah, I'm trying to do it from memory. I have a really bad visual imagination. I mean, I have zero visual imagination. I have aphantasia. So I'm, this is a real struggle for me. It's like almost a puzzle. But I like doing it. It really helps. And I've gotten better, which I'm really surprised at. I think I'm paying more attention when I see characters because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have to draw them. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that for now. Ugh, I made it. It doesn't matter. We'll do that after the sketch layer. We'll do one arm this way. We'll have a shoulder, one arm this way. Do you uh, do you draw on the computer, Saizen, or do you draw physically, or both? I don't know. Okay, I am gonna make this a little not solid because I am having trouble, and I think I'm a little afraid of the solid black. Or maybe it's just harder to see. Okay, we know his shirt is like, yeah. He has like that kind of shirt going on. And then his pants, I feel like they're just sort of straight-ish down or something like that. And I know he just wears like plain black shoes. Like, Something I like about The Simpsons is they don't go too crazy on the shoes. This is not terrible, but there's, well, can't win them all. I did really well. Charlie Brown, I did very well. Bob, Sideshow Bob. I did halfway decent. Marge, even. What is his... Are his arms, like, big compared to the other Simpsons? Maybe. I'll have him holding a beer. That'll say, like, Duff, I guess. Thank you so much, Aubrey, not Audrey, sorry. I appreciate the sentiment a lot. And I will not give up. That was actually, like, that's part of why I'm live streaming now, is because I had a lot of motivation to quit for a while. And I didn't want to. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I need a live stream that I can do without that much preparation so I can, like, live stream as much as possible, keep my YouTube going. So thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. We'll have him do. Bye. Ooh, we're gonna have non-pizza. Eh, this isn't bad. I'm not, like, thrilled with it. There's, like, he's not cartoony enough. There's something off about him, but I don't know what it is. I feel like it must be his proportions. Maybe his head is too big. I was thinking his neck was too long, but maybe his head is too big. Oh, hi, Malashka. Or Milashka. Thank you so much. Let's try that. That that seems better. Man, I think he really looked like Homer Simpson before I changed where the eyes were, and I feel like silly for doing that. Oh, thank you, Sapley. Yeah, we missed you on the last stream, but glad to have you. Okay, I'm moving the eyes back just a little bit to the side where they used to be before I got crazy, before I got greedy. Okay. Yeah, that already looks so much more like Homer. That's so funny. I mean, it's not. That's how cartoons work. They have so specific rules, and they either look like themselves or they don't. Okay. Okay, that's... I think it's time to do the inking. I don't think I'm gonna fix anything else. I don't have a specific thing I don't like anymore. That was the last specific thing. Homer might have a pocket on his shirt. I think all the, I was trying to be like Smithers and say like something something from Sector G. Oh, I should have said something something. All the something somethings from Sector G have a pocket protector. Yeah, I was saying before, one thing I really love about digital is just how easy it is to readjust like proportions and stuff on the fly without having to like redraw most of the all of the drawing. Okay, okay, I'm going for it. Ooh, we could have pancakes for dinner. I might. Sounds very good. He's like, March. Oh, that does not look right. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm feeling pretty good about Homer here. Okay. I am going to get the ink out. Let's do it. New layer. Actual. Ooh. Actual black pen. I mean, actual for the computer. I've been doing a thicker black pen today than I usually do to try to get less detail, so I get more um, like caricatureness, and I think it's working. There's a lot of apps where you do this type of like inking over top of a like kind of a pencil drawing. A lot of art is made this way, but specifically comics are done this way, and like cartoons are done this way in a way, but so much more of cartoons are done, like animated cartoons are done, like in-betweeners and stuff like that, so it's not quite the same. Oh, but they'll do them like they'll change it to red or blue, so you would like take this layer, right? And you would like change it to what? Change it to like red. I guess blue is more traditional, but here, I'll change it to blue since we're here. You would change it to something like this, and then when you ink it, like you can really see what you're doing on top. And they sell blue pencils, like I said before, like a lot of comics used to be made this way. I think mostly they're made digitally now. Oh, thank you for all the hearts. Um, but you can still buy. I bought some blue pencil leads to try this. Uh, I mostly do it. I'll like if I really want to ink something, what I will do is just put it on what's a light table, so it has like a big light underneath it, and then I'll put a layer of paper in between, and then that way like it kind of has the same effect as where it's like just much lighter and much easier, but it's really easy to see like which is on the top layer and which is on the bottom layer, which is kind of the point. But the blue actually came from the fact that you could scan it, then you could scan it into a computer, or what you would really do is photocopy it, or somehow other make a reproduction of it, and the blue would just not get reproduced. Only the blacks would be reproduced. All right. Now it's the head. He's looking normal. I think for me now it's just like I think I messed up the I don't know how to his arms are the wrong like proportion for his body or for Homer, not for his body in general. Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's hard. I know a lot of lives. It's hard to remember to like them. And then I'm not good at calling it out. I should get better at that. Okay. I will put these pockets here. I don't remember if they are there. Why does that look so crazy? Okay, not terrible. We have Simpsons yellow still, so this will be relatively easy to color. Whoops. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep trucking. I think that's probably the number one thing, and hopefully YouTube will show my stuff to more and more people. I really appreciate you saying that though. It helps me feel good about continuing on. Yeah, this one. Our left or his left? Yeah, okay. So not the beer arm. And then, all right, I think, whoops, I accidentally colored on the, hang on. I accidentally colored on the outline layer. I mean, oh, you know what I almost forgot? Oh, okay. I have to do it above the color. That makes sense. Okay, not terrible. Don't hate it outright. Can't tell what is off about it. Okay. I don't know what color Duff beer is. Let's make it red since I have the red out. Layer am I on? Sometimes I forget layers exist in Photoshop. But layers are so helpful because you don't have to remember which thing you're supposed to do first and which thing you're supposed to do second, which you really have to think about a lot in oil or even acrylic painting. And you really have to think about it if you're doing like printing. All right, let's see what Homer looks like. I mean, he looks like this, just his arms are thicker or something. Oh, so much thicker. Okay. He is so much less human shaped. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. His ear is way lower, which I should have known because I knew Simpsons' ears are like at their jawline for some reason. But not bad, not bad. Yeah, so this is why his arms were looking so weird. I knew they were thicker, I just couldn't get my brain to wrap around how much thicker. I'm just going to do this real quick with a reference. I haven't done this before, I don't think, but I feel like doing it today, and then that'll be my last drawing for the day. So I am going to still sketch it. What is moving? I'm going to just, yeah, what I would do to draw Homer Simpson now that I know what Homer Simpson looks like. So I would do a circle for the top of the head for sure. And then he doesn't really have any, and then anything else going on. A circle for the mouth area. Well, kind of oblong circle or an oval. The eyes are, it's even worse. Like, they're not just not in the middle of the head. They are like so far to the left, even though he's three-quarter. That's crazy. He's like more extreme than Marge, not less. He only has two hairs. I thought he had three on the top of his head. So this is a little bit fancier than usual, I think. Oh crap, you guys can't see. Darn it. I have to like make the DuckDuckGo browser like shrink immediately or something because I way too often am drawing and no one can see because I've left the wheel spin or the web browser up in front of everything.
You know, based on what you were saying, I could not tell that you didn't want to be.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. So I would do that. Then you have a big circle for his belly and butt. I was thinking he must have a butt. I don't know why I left the butt out. Somebody was like butt out, and I was like, no problem. Oh man, there's a bunch of jokes for butt out. I've never thought of that before. Like, do people still say butt out? Like, hey man, butt out. Uh, all the hippies used to say that when we were kids. Oh, interesting. So he does have a shoulder, is like whole sleeve. His short sleeve is like completely cut off from the rest of his shirt, which is fascinating to me. Okay, I've moved his sleeve a little far out. But yeah, and then you have the collar, which I did remember the collar, but I didn't do it well. I didn't realize he had such a V, but I think the collar part I got okay. But yeah, even here, I think you can see this looks much more like Homer. Oh, and I didn't even do the nose. All right. And then I would do a big circle for the top of the sleeve and then just cut it off like that. And then you can reshape that. The arm is just a big tube. So if I'm drawing a big tube, I almost always do this spiral thing. And that is exactly what I would do here for Homer. Interestingly, his hand starts just after the bottom of his shirt, which is pretty normal for a regular person. So that proportion checks out. And then, yeah, so I knew his hands were something special because he has like dad hands, like those big square dad hands. Homer's such a dad. And then, yeah, you can barely see anything behind him. That's pretty normal. I should have been trying to think about that too. All right. So his pants, you have the bottom of the circle. That's the top of his pants. That connects right to his front leg. Can't even see where it starts on the back. He is interestingly proportioned in the legs. Like his leg is just the same size as his arm. That's actually not crazy. For some reason, he reminds me of a hippie. That might be why I was saying hippie before. But like his whole like the way he wears his jeans for some reason just reminds me of like maybe they remind me of bell bottoms or something. Okay, and that's more or less how I would draw Homer. All right, should I do a quick ink? Yeah, I'll ink it real quick. I think that's been fun. Make sure. Okay. I'm going to start with the eyes because the eyes have been giving me a lot of trouble this day. What I think a lot of people would say was today. Oh my gosh, dumb nose. I never realized how much Dominoes sounds like dumb nose. Oh, hey. I cannot read your name, I'm sorry. But hello. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying. So I'm an illustrator and I have no mind's eye and a designer. I mostly work as a designer, but I'm trying to get paid more for my illustrations. But I mainly illustrate animals and pets and stuff like that. And I'm trying to get better. I have no mind's eye, which means I cannot imagine something I and see it in my head, and I cannot remember something and see it in my head. It's called aphantasia. I don't like to say I have aphantasia, so I say I am aphantasic. So today I'm actually drawing, I just drew him without looking, and this is what he came out as, which was pretty bad, but I got most things right. And so now I'm drawing him again while looking, which I don't usually do, but um, it's the end of the stream and I felt I wanted a real good win. And so I was explaining like how I would break him down, have the big circle here, have like the arms be tubes, stuff like that. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah. Uh, Drawing can be really great. I just started drawing about 6 years ago, and I was really lucky. My wife and I had moved to a new place after, well, from a crazy situation. Not, and she was asking me like what I wanted to do, and I was like, well, I'll just work at a coffee shop. I had worked food service most of my life and at a toy store, but there was no toy store. And she was like, I'm not asking you like what you would do for like what do you want to do? And I said, well, I think illustration. And so she said, well, then you have to do it. You can't just like even if you're not getting paid for it, you have to start doing it so that one day it might be your job. Yeah, sure. Shoot. I did not. I have not. It is like I have studied a bunch of languages very slightly. Not enough to speak, but sometimes enough to read a little bit. Uh, and Arabic is on my list. I think it's very interesting. And there's a like a lot of no, yeah, just like any language, it can be really great to understand things in the culture, and like the language will help you understand and see more of the art from the culture and stuff like that can make a big difference. Yeah, yeah, I believe it. I'm sorry. English is a lot. Yeah, you are doing a very good job, especially considering you can understand me. All right, that is how I would very quickly draw Homer Simpson. I forgot. Oh yeah, we should do like whatever it's called, a darker. My brain is not telling me what this is called. A beard, a 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, I guess I did the eyes weird. Oh, he doesn't have his hair. Yeah, I usually do shade things, and for here I would do like I think this would look nice. You'd probably do like the back of the arm, this one, the back of the leg. So there's a type of shading where you do this, and it's not like you're not really trying to make it look shaded, and then you would take a brighter color and you would do the same thing on the opposite side. And I think The Simpsons does this a lot, and it sort of helps. I don't think you would do, well, yeah. It sort of helps you see the outline of the character better, and it makes it look more complex even when it's like it's not. It makes it look nice. Um, I gotta get the hairs. Just oh, one, two. All right. Yeah. Okay. I see. I didn't shape his head at all, and his head is shaped a little bit. I've drawn like Fat Homer. Well, thank you so much. Your English is very good. I hope you come back and practice your English more. That would be great. I am from the United States. Yeah. Born in born and raised and I guess born and bred in New York. That just means born and bred. It's like a colloquial expression. Is like an expression that means I was born here and my parents were from here. Oh, nice. I don't travel very well. Like I just I just really struggle. Yeah, Iraq has really good history. There was something I was reading about, like the alphabet also is from Iraq, or you know, the culture that was in the place that Iraq is now. Um, there's something else that was really, really fascinating. It was like, I'm not going to remember today. Okay. Oh, welcome back, Aubrey. You're just in time to see us off. I'm going to go eat dinner. And thank you so much. I cannot, uh, uh, I don't know your name, sir. Clown avatar. All right. Thank you. See you guys next time. I'll be streaming tomorrow. We got let's see, where is it? Oh, we'll do the goodbye. We'll do this guy.
Friendly bearded illustrator.
He's mustachioed?
Thanks. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in. Oh no. Where is the end?